Boston Dynamics is a robotic company that has manufactured robots for daily life and military services. Spot by Boston Dynamics is an agile mobile robot that navigates terrain with unprecedented mobility, allowing you to automate routine inspection tasks and data capture safely. This dance was a welcome note to merging of two companies. Good evening, one and all. Today we are online for the inauguration of the Science Club. Prayer is a source of hope. It is that one thing which leads us towards light and hope. Let's begin this occasion by invoking the blessings of God with a prayer. I invite Shashwati of grade 7 to invoke the blessings of God. Thank you, Shashwati. I invite Kamya Sinha to welcome the virtual gathering.
Good evening to one and all. I'm Kamya Sinha of grade 7 studying in HKS International School, Hassan. It's a pleasure to start this auspicious occasion with a hearty welcome. I take great pleasure to extend a warm welcome to the esteemed members of the management of our school. Welcome you all. I'm profusely elated to take an opportunity to welcome our chief guest of today, Dr. R.D. Prabhu. Welcome, sir. I would also like to welcome our senior principal, coordinator, conveners, teachers, non-teaching staff, parents, and all my dear friends to this special program. Welcome you all. I hope the program will be great and successful, and I hope you'll enjoy the program too. Thank you everyone for joining us online today.
Thank you, Kamya. Let's introduce Science Club and logo tagline. Now let's unveil the names for the laboratories. I invite Kalpita of grade 7 to share the club culture.
Factors of our science club: improve scientific attitude and provide opportunities for practice in scientific method, to better understand the scientific knowledge through science experiments. Actively encourage this use of engineering technology in learning science, to maintain the students with knowledge on past and recent inventions in science.
I invite Ms. Rashmi ma'am to introduce science educators of HKS.
A good teacher explains, a superior teacher demonstrates, a great teacher inspires. Good evening everyone. It's a great honor for me to be here today to introduce the science educators of HKS International School. Mrs. Krupa. She is a convener and science facilitator who has motherly nature towards the children. She motivates each student and works with the student as a partner. Mr. Ravindra, HOD of Science, who believes in high thinking and simple living. He is humble, down-to-earth, hardworking, talented person. Students love his way of teaching. Mr. Prakash, physics educator who has very well experience in teaching and good in integrating technology to science. Mr. Sunil is STEM coordinator and science educator who brings experiential learning in the classroom and makes the children to enjoy the science with his activities. Mrs. Ramya, educator who is energetic and hardworking, one who supports children to learn the subject, and she is very interactive. Ms. Rashmi, educator who is very enthusiastic to teach and available for the students to provide knowledge. Mrs. Padmareka, educator, she is a very talented, she explains each concept clearly, students love to attend her classes. Mrs. Anuradha, educator, one who understands and helps each student with every concept in the lower grades. She lays the strong foundation in the beginning stage of schooling. This is our science department. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. I invite Icha Raj Purohit of grade 7 to introduce our chief guest.
Good evening one and all. I am Icharaj of grade 7 introducing you the guest for the day. I am extremely happy to welcome Dr. R.T. Prabhu as the chief guest for today's science club inauguration. As a youngster, Dr. Prabhu read a book on space rocketry and fell deeply in love with the stars, the galaxies and the universe. So after finishing his bachelor degree in physics from St. Xavier College in Kolkata and masters in electronics from Osmania, Hyderabad, Prabhu sir went on to obtain his PhD in astrophysics from the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. Thereafter, Dr. Prabhu stepped out of the country and worked in Singapore, Texas and Vermont. Prabhu wanted his kids to experience the Indian culture, people, places and wanted them to grow up in India. So, Dr. Prabhu and his family moved to India, Bangalore in the year 2007. Before this, Prabhu sir worked as a research professor in mechanical engineering at the University of Vermont. Back in India, he worked for IBM's Semiconductor Research Division. His work was related to the development of some of the tiniest components that go into the smartphones of today. Since 2015, Prabhu sir has been teaching physics at Sri Sathya Sai Center for Human Excellence that has now become a university. More recently, he is back to the corporate world. Sir will be managing a team of young professionals to work on new smartphone technologies. Dr. Prabhu is very passionate about teaching physics hands-on. He has developed and taught summer courses to youngsters. He loves playing chess, table tennis, doing yoga, reciting poetry and learning Sanskrit. Thank you for the opportunity given.
Thank you, Rashmi ma'am. Now, I request our Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Prabhu to address the gathering. Now, I request our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Prabhu, to address the gathering.
నాకు కరెంట్ పోయింది ఇంట్లో ఒక్క నిమిషం ఓకేనా కెన్ యూ సీ మీ I think you can see me now. Voice okay. I think somebody is raising their hand. Somebody is raising a thumbs up. Yes, they can see me. Yes, I can see your students. Okay, now I'll speak. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I would like to see at least one face because that gives me a feeling that I'm there. So the student who raised the thumbs up, I would request the student to be on the camera. Hello, can you all hear me? Yes, thank you. So I'm very happy to be part of this science club inauguration of HK's International School. And I thank Rashmi Madam for letting me know that such nice activities are happening in her school and inviting me and the principal and the secretary and all the dignitaries of the school who also encouraged this participation from my side. And they don't know me, but I am very glad to get to know everybody in the school. Okay, and the most important thing is the science club inauguration. What should be the spirit of the science club? The spirit of science club is to be able to bring your textbook alive. You know, you read lots of things in your textbooks. You read about motors, you read about cells, you read about, be it biology, be it chemistry, or be it physics. So what is very, very important is to be able to visualize, to be able to see, and to be able to do. Okay? So the club is where all of you will meet from different backgrounds and different interests, but you will learn how to do science and how to share science. So there are two important things that I want you to remember. That one is to be able to do a successful experiment of whatever you learn in the class. I'll give you a simple example. Like I tried making a motor when I was in 7th standard, and when I learned how a motor works. So it is not just learning from the textbook. It is also getting the tools to be able to perform the experiment. Okay, and there will be lots of troubles when you are doing experiments. Experiments are not as easy as reading one or two lines of theory and then saying, I got it, I understood it. It is your art of developing, you're thinking by hands. You learn how to actually think with your hands, not just calculations and formulas and all. So I want you people, young people, the teachers included. By the way, when we are doing an experiment, all of us learn from the experiment, the teachers included. There is no teacher, no student as such. All of us are teachers, all of us are students. Okay, so, and in this sense, I would also like to tell you that Rashmi ma'am is one of the very sincere teachers, and she is also a good learner. And so you all should work with teachers, and you all should be able to communicate whatever you learn. And you will learn a lot when you do a lot of experiments in your science club. So I think I will stop here, and just in case you want me to share some of my experiences, I'll be glad to do that. But right now, I think I'm out of my time, and all the best, all the very, very best, and I would love to come to your school and visit your labs and talk to you in person. Okay? Take care.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. Now I would like to invite Chandana of grade 7 to announce your plan of science club for the academic year 2021 till 2022.
Good evening one and all. So now I am going to list out the activities of our science club for the academic year 2021 to 2022. So that are solar system model, lemon battery experiment, germination of seeds experiment, water cycle experiment, parts of the body project, wind turbine model, weather and season project, simple pendulum experiment, nutrients in food project, fly a kite, rocket model, and lungs working model. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandana. Now I invite Anjali Sachin Pawar to deliver a presentation on the impact of lockdown on environmental changes.
Hello everyone, I am Anjali Pawar, studying in grade 7th in HKS International School. Nature is God, nature is life. The coronavirus pandemic impact on the environment. As the coronavirus pandemic unfolds across the globe, threatening lives and upending the world's economy, an unexpected side effect has been decreased in the greenhouse emission. In this infograph, we look at the full environmental impact of the COVID-19 series, from the rise of medical waste to the decline of air pollution. The novel coronavirus disease COVID-19 lockdown has put millions in those of advisory, and yet there is a reason to celebrate. Over a month into the nationwide lockdown, air and water pollution levels have shrunk and the wildlife is free. Lockdown improved air quality and there are no significant changes in water waste and hospital waste, so the waste management is getting difficult. Endangered species like sea turtles along Odisha coast laying eggs and can be seen in the future. Himalayas are visible in North India because of reduce of air pollution. The Space Agency NASA is funding 4 projects that will aid researchers by using satellite imagery and other data resources to calculate the impact of pandemic-related lockdown to global pollution levels. One such project looks to study the perceived gains in air quality in different countries by linking satellite data to multiple data sets like weather, traffic-related information, and temperature. Every winter, New Delhi and other big cities in North are enveloped in a blanket of smoke as farmers burn crop residue. The air tends to clear a little in spring. In this trend, lockdown has visibly changed India's air quality. The COVID-19 pandemic has disturbed the life and lifestyle of people across the globe. In this new reality, communication technology offers solution to overcome some of the challenges thrown up by the pandemic. Virtual meetings. Already applications like Zoom and Google Meet have seen a sudden support in users. From meetings only with 4 or 5 participants to huge international seminars and conferences with thousands of participants, all have already moved online. This trend is likely to continue in the post-COVID world as people maintain social distancing equality. Online education. Dedicated education apps have witnessed a spurt in growth as students are learning concepts on their mobile phones. A few colleges have also conducted tests online. It is expected that some of these trends will continue in the post-COVID period as well. The increasing demand for faster and higher bandwidth networks due to remote working. 5G, which is the next generation network designed with service-based architecture, might get adopted fast. Spectrum. Technology trends make it clear that in a post-COVID world, more content will be watched and consumed on mobile devices, be in it form of video conference for a meeting, an online class or video for entertainment. Ecosystems at risk. Natural ecosystems and protected species are at risk. During the coronavirus decrease, in many countries, environmental protection workers at national parks and lands and marine conservation zones are required to stay at home in lockdown, leaving these areas unmonitored. Their absence has resulted in rise of illegal deforestation, fishing, and wildlife hunting. Save Earth, save life. Thank you all.
Thank you, Anjali. We all learn by doing at HKS Science Lab. Now we have Maurya who will demonstrate a short activity on capillary action.
Good evening all. Today I am going to demonstrate an experiment to show on what principles plants absorb water from the soil. Plants absorb water by the roots from the soil and transport it to leaves by the process called capillary action. Through xylem tissues, capillary action is defined as spontaneous flow of liquid into a narrow tube or porous material. Capillary action do not need required gravity to occur. In fact, it acts as opposition to gravity. It is also sometimes called as capillarity,
capillary motion, and weakening. Capillary action is the combination of adhesive force between the tube and the liquid and cohesive force of liquid. Cohesion and adhesion are the two types of intermolecular forces. They pull a liquid into the tube. Let us understand this process by the simple experiment. Let's start our process. First I took 3 glasses which are transparent. Next I am going to name them as A, B and C glass. Next step is to pour water to A glass and C glass. I am going to pour equal amount of water to 2 glasses. Next, I am going to add food color to A glass. Next, I am going to add turmeric to C glass of water. Next, I am going to roll the tissue in this way. And I am going to place it. I am going to say this side also. We can absorb tissue absorbing the water. We can observe this after 2 minutes. And here we got to know how plants absorb water from the soil. Thank you.
Thank you, Maulya. I invite Lekana of grade 7 to introduce STEM.
A very good evening, everyone. My name is Lekana and I'm studying in class 7 HKS International School, Asan. STEM education is known for its focus on science, technology, engineering and maths. And it's relatively a new term in Indian education sector. STEM curriculum was introduced from last academic year 2019 to 2020 in our school. STEM challenges help us to understand and find solutions for real-life challenges like soil erosion, oil spill, earthquake, roof houses, etc. It helps us to improve our creativity, critical thinking, collaboration, communication skills which are considered as necessary in 21st centuries. Now let's watch test manuals of grade 7th and grade 2nd students on STEM activities.
Thank you, Lekana. Let's watch testimonials of grade 2nd and 7th students on STEM activity.
Today I am doing experiment. The experiment is erosion and barrier. See, now I am pouring water. When water gets to the sand, it will happen erosion. Do you know what is erosion? Erosion happens when rocks and soil moved away from water and air. Wind. I am putting rocks to stop the erosion. stand because the rocks are stopping the water. Like this, the erosion can stop.
How to make a robotic hand using a cardboard. Things required. Take a cardboard and cut two hands shaped like this. Take a rectangular piece, then also make a square piece and cut a board like this.
I invite Rihan Pasha to propose the word of thanks.